I'm your co-anchor Ella, and this is SEMC News.
I'm your other co-anchor Summer, and as we enter 3 years of World War II, President Roosevelt urges us to buy war bonds, available at your local grocery store and post office.
And keep in mind that these war bonds are helping to support the war effort as tensions between Japan and the United States continue to rise. Japan is pushing for a communist world.
Breaking news, we just received word that the U.S. has just begun an attack on Iwo Jima due to Japanese use of the airfields on Iwo Jima Island, using these airfields to attack U.S. ships and submarines.
Keep in mind that this is being led by General Kurubayashi, and Iwo Jima is located between the United States and Japan and is a key island in the Bonin chain. Now to our field reporter.
Over 500 miles away is the coast of Iwo Jima, where tensions rise as the U.S. invades.
Welcome back to SEMC News. I'm your co-anchor Ella.
And I'm your co-anchor Summer.
It is Saturday, March 10th, 1945.
As the battle on Iwo Jima Island continues, it is being used as a sanctuary for bombers returning from Japan. This battle is mostly fought in an extensive network of tunnels and in 16 miles of caves. The Japanese have also developed a suicide pact to kill 10 Americans and then kill themselves.
This invasion has been the longest sustained aerial defense battle up to this point in the war, as well as the largest Armada invasion with over 880 ships used, as well as 110,000 Marines being shipped to Iwo Jima. There are no front lines on this battle due to the very unique terrain of the island. Now to our interview with the field nurse.
Today I am joined with Jane Kendi, the first nurse on Iwo Jima Island who has become the symbol for casualty evacuation and high altitude nursing. You're called Angels in the Air. Can you tell us a little bit about what that means?
We supply support and medical supplies for the wounded on the battlefield.
How many people did you serve with?
8 total people. Some were surgeons, some were medical technicians, and some were flight nurses.
What were some of the dangers of your jobs?
At times we would land in hostile territories, and some planes weren't marked with red crosses to signify help.
Along with training to be a nurse in this environment, what were some of the requirements?
We were required to take an 8-week course in survival, first aid, dressing wound, safety precautions, and basically learning how to work on a moving aircraft.
Why did you choose to serve as a nurse, and what impacted you the most?
To me, it seemed like such a good learning opportunity, and it made me a stronger, better person.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Back to Ella.
Welcome back to SEMC News. Today is Friday, March 30th, and the Battle of Iwo Jima has officially ended about 4 days ago on March 26, 1945, after about 36 days of fighting.
There have been about 26,000 U.S. casualties, and virtually all Japanese soldiers have been killed or injured.
The United States has officially won and gained the island of Iwo Jima. Now to our interview with family members of injured soldiers and the famous photographer. Hello, I'm Ella, your news anchor from SEMC News, and today I'm joined with the famous photographer, Joe Rosenthal. So, why did you become a military photographer?
Well, I was rejected from the military because of my poor eyesight, so I applied to be a military photographer instead.
So how did you get into photography?
Well, I acquired my first camera when I was 12 years old, and from there I just fell in love with photography. After that, I got to work with many different newspapers as reporters and photographers before eventually becoming a military photographer.
So what's some of your inspiration behind your photos?
Well, you see, I try to capture real and graphic images of battle, but also I want to capture the brotherhood of the soldiers and the national pride, and I just want to show off my national pride for all the people that are serving our country.
That's great. So, with this famous picture now, what do you plan to do with your photography career?
I plan to continue to be a military photographer throughout World War II, however long it may be. But one day I hope to move back to San Francisco with my brother and work for the San Francisco Chronicle.
All right, that's great. This was our interview with Joe Rosenthal, and back to you, Summer.
I'm your co-anchor, Summer.
And today this is an interview with SEMC News. Today I'm joined with the wife and the sister of an injured soldier named Burt Rutten who served in the Battle of Iwo Jima. So, can you tell us a little about what life was like before the war?
Well, before the war, I lived hours away, but when Bert was called into battle, I moved in with them to help take care of my niece Chesney and their new baby boy, Colton.
Did you know that he would be going to war?
No, we did not expect it at all. It was kind of a shock, but it ended up working out.
So, what were your feelings or emotions towards that? Like, how did you feel when he told you?
Well, he always had a lot of national pride towards our country, and so when World War II broke out, we kind of figured it was eventually going to happen, and so, but when we got the call,
It was emotional.
yeah, and especially a couple weeks ago when they called us about him being injured, it was really rough.
How has life been since, how's your daughter doing with
Like, how's it, like, with dealing with a father that's injured in the war?
It's been hard. We've had to take a lot of care of him, but I'm thankful that she moved in to help me. I love you. And the kids have been good. They've been nice about it.
So that concludes our interview with the wife and sister of an injured war soldier. Tune in to SEMC News next time for a great broadcast.